All right, good Monday evening, everyone. We have a significant severe weather outbreak that's happening tonight, and another more enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms tomorrow. With, possibly some very strong tornadoes, even over towards Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama for tomorrow. But we have a lot of stuff going on already. So if you're just now joining us, click that like button, comment where you're from, share this with your friends and family. We need to get the word out there to everybody that the significant severe weather is going to last most of tonight going into tomorrow. So it's going to be a nighttime event. Tornadoes come at night. It's very deadly. So we need to have a way to get warnings tonight. It's a very dangerous situation, what we're going to be dealing with for tonight. So alrighty, here's the very latest from the Storm Prediction Center. This is, they have not updated this since 3 o'clock this afternoon, but still moderate risk. Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Springfield, Norman, Oklahoma, Broken Bow, up here toward Fort Smith, Fayetteville, getting towards Harrison and over towards Nixa, Missouri, all the way down here to northern parts of Texas, Gainesville, Sherman, over towards just north of Paris here, north of Dallas, Fort Worth. But Dallas, Fort Worth, you're under enhanced risk all the way up to just northwest Little Rock Metro, Conway, Jonesboro, all the way up towards Poplar Bluff, and then up here towards Raleigh, Jefferson City, Kansas City, even under the gun there. Slight risk, Omaha, Nebraska, Wichita, Kansas, St. Louis, Lincoln, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, under a slight risk for the rest of today. Like I said, this has not been updated since 2:52 this afternoon. So there should probably be an update, I would assume, probably in the next hour or so. So we'll see how this goes. All right. All right, let's take a look at the latest tornado risk. I tell you, they really expanded it out at the 3 o'clock update. They've included strong tornadoes, basically most of the northwestern half of Arkansas, even all the way up towards the Jonesboro area. Poplar Bluff expanded all the way up to West Plains, Poplar Bluff, over here towards Jefferson City, Kansas City, up here towards St. Joseph, even Missouri. Strong tornadoes. And in the red here, you got a 15% likelihood of seeing a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. We've had numerous tornado warnings and some tornadoes that were spotted and did some damage, I believe, in eastern Oklahoma here just a little bit ago. But even down here toward Dallas, Fort Worth area, so it could be some strong tornadoes down that way as well. Wind risk, very high wind risk. We have a 45% probability of significant or severe winds in excess of 60 to 75 miles per hour, especially in this hatched area here of Tulsa, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Springfield, Missouri, over towards Mountain Home, West Plains, even down towards Russellville. Anywhere in this hatched area of a greater likelihood of 75 mile per hour winds or greater across this area. Hail risk, huge hail risk for the rest of today, extends all the way up into Nebraska and then all the way down into just north of Austin, Texas, including most of the western half of Arkansas and eastern, basically 2/3 of Oklahoma up here towards Missouri as well. So anywhere in that hatch area, greater than 2 inches diameter, which are basically hen eggs or lime size, all the way up to possibility of softball size hail for the rest of the season. Like I said, this outlook has not been updated since 3 o'clock from the Storm Prediction Center. So we're just going over all the latest. All right. So let's go back over here. We go to day 2. All right. So here's day 2. This was updated this afternoon at 12:30. So enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms across the Mid-South and Tennessee Valley. Severe thunderstorms are likely across portions of the Mid-South, Tennessee Valley, and Lower Ohio River Valley on Tuesday, including damaging winds, 60 to 75 mile per hour damaging winds, tornadoes, and a few of those, which could be strong. So Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Knoxville, over towards Huntsville, Alabama. Enhanced risk for tomorrow. I would not, if some more parameters come together, I would not be shocked to see a moderate risk tomorrow But we'll see what the Storm Prediction Center says. We need a little bit more parameters in place to get that moderate risk. But regardless, you need to stay weather aware tomorrow. I know Nashville. I think Nashville National Weather Service, I think their weather radio communicator, I think, is going to be offline tomorrow. So you've got to have a way to go get warnings besides your weather radio in the Nashville area. I believe it's the Nashville area anyways. I think that's where I read it from. So their weather radio service will be offline, I believe, tomorrow in Nashville. So that's just one less warning you'll receive. So you need to have multiple ways to get warnings across this area for tomorrow. Slight risk in Indianapolis, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville, Kentucky, just a few places down here northwest of Atlanta even for tomorrow. Tornado risk, big 10% hatched basically from parts of Memphis, Nashville, Huntsville, Clarksville, Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Tennessee as well, Huntsville, Alabama. Like I said, down here towards Tupelo, Mississippi, Greenwood, Starksville, Clarksdale, hatched area, 10%. That means in this hatched area, strong tornadoes are possible. 10% likelihood of seeing a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. This brownish area, 5% likelihood of seeing a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. This is basically from Indianapolis, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville, down here towards Jackson, Mississippi, just northeast of Monroe, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Alabama. We're talking about Knoxville, Tennessee, up here towards Lexington, Kentucky, Cincinnati, even just a few areas there. So let's go over the wind risk. We have a huge 45% probability of 60 mile per hour or greater winds across parts of this area. Talking Nashville, Huntsville, Chattanooga, Murfreesboro, Decatur. This is really ramped up over the last update as well at 12:30 this afternoon. Like I said, we'll have to kind of wait and see if there's some more parameters come in place. It's going to be another very dangerous day tomorrow, as the Storm Prediction Center could pull the trigger on that moderate risk across parts of this area. So very dangerous weather day for tomorrow. Hail risk, not as bad as it is over the last few days, but still pretty significant. Probably 1 inch in diameter hail. This is one of the parameters. If this parameter starts ramping up to getting significant hail in excess of 2 inches diameter, like I said, I would not be surprised if Storm Prediction Center pulls the trigger on that moderate risk somewhere across this area. Okay, so let's go over the latest future radar here. Alrighty, here's the latest HRRR. This is 23Z. I was kind of waiting for the 00Z to come out, but this is depicting basically right now. It's doing a pretty decent job, except these cells out east here. Those are not actually happening, but a big line of embedded supercells with this line of storms that's really ramping up. And like I said, there's going to be some Boeing segments. So you're going to get some of those winds, 75, 80, possibly upwards of 80 plus miles per hour with some of these Boeing segments with this line. There's going to be embedded supercells, embedded tornadoes in between this, rain wrap tornadoes as well. So this is 9 o'clock this evening. Here's 10 o'clock. Big lines and broken lines, maybe supercells out ahead of it with possibility of tornadoes. And like I said, Boeing segments with embedded tornadoes in this line of storms coming through parts of Arkansas here, southern Missouri, as we go towards the 10 o'clock hour. 11 o'clock hour, moving through north central Arkansas, south central Missouri, heading towards St. Louis as well. One thing you need to notice, this dry line is going to start coming through, and then we got the cold front to deal with too. So there's going to be more storm development out here in eastern Oklahoma as we head towards the midnight hour. As you can see here, big flare up of a big line of storms possible as we get towards midnight, basically along the I-44 corridor, I-40 coming out of Oklahoma, and it's going to be slamming into Arkansas. St. Louis up here towards Des Moines, Iowa. It's going to be a pretty rough night ahead. And then as we head towards 1 2 o'clock in the morning, here comes that next line of storms. This is going to be probably mostly a straight line wind maker, but you can't rule out tornadoes with this line. But like I said, it's going to be a long night ahead. There's 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's that first round of storms. Basically heading out of Missouri into Illinois, into parts of Iowa. And then here comes that cold front and big line of storms coming up. Here's 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And then here we are around 7 o'clock, could be knocking on the door in Memphis. If you're wondering what this yellow is out here, that's actually current tornado watches as of right now. So left that on. So here's 8 o'clock tomorrow, 9, 10. Here comes that first line of storms. Here's the 10 o'clock, or here's the noon hour. We're going to have more storm initiation. Parts of eastern Missouri, southeastern Missouri into eastern Arkansas. And then those are going to start getting more supercell characteristics as it moves east of the Mississippi River. That's why Memphis to Nashville to northern Mississippi into northern Alabama. It's going to be the biggest risk for some strong tornadoes tomorrow. I can back this all the way up to the 18Z and kind of play it out for tomorrow. All right, so here's 1 o'clock tomorrow. You can see the storm starting to initialize up here into parts of Missouri here. You see basically you can see supercells trying to develop out here tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, that is. You can see these individual storms out by themselves. That could be bad news. And then this thing finally gets into a line overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday. And basically it's done and gets out of here. And we're going to be left with a cooler weather pattern as we head towards the rest of the week. But very dangerous night ahead and into tomorrow. So stay weatherware, stay up on our page. We have updates basically almost every hour going over all the latest, either from the Storm Prediction Center. One thing I didn't touch on, there's going to be flooding. There's going to be flooding too. Let me go over that really quick. And just turn some of this stuff off really quick so I can show you where the flood watches are at. So like I said, flood watches, we're expecting possibility of 2 to 5 inches of rain just tonight into tomorrow morning across basically the Ozarks and eastern parts of Oklahoma. That's why this flood watch is out here. There's a flood watch out for parts of Kentucky. This is for this lines of storms coming in way late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then more rounds tomorrow and tomorrow night out that way. So widespread, possibly 2 to 5 inches of rain, possibly locally higher amounts in the Ozarks and out here towards Kentucky into parts of West Virginia. So could be a lot could come at one time. So like I said, 2 to 5 inches of rain. Flash flooding is a big possibility across parts of the area, along with significant severe weather, possibly strong to violent tornadoes, and wind upwards of 80 plus miles per hour and upwards of softball size hail for the rest of tonight into early tomorrow morning. And then possibly very strong, or could be some strong tornadoes out here towards Tennessee into parts of northern Mississippi into Alabama tomorrow. So that's something to bear watch. Like I said, stay up on our page. And if you see, as you're scrolling, if you see our content, hit that like button so it tells Facebook that you want to continue to see our content. If you scroll past our stuff, it'll tell Facebook you want to see our content, kind of buries it. You won't see our stuff for days. And we're trying to keep you guys up on the weather, the significant severe weather that's happening over the next few days. So stay safe, everyone. Please have a way to get warnings, multiple ways to get warnings. Have a plan in place in case there's a tornado warning issued for your area. Stay safe, everyone, and have